off the night. Our first game is called Half-Life. So throughout the night, I'm going to be asking y'all for some suggestions. And I'm going to start by, what is a famous story? Like a little engine that could, or...
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty. Daniel, if you could, can you give us a short 2 or 3 sentences or about what happens in Humpty Dumpty?
Well, if I remember right, he sits on a wall.
We'll take your word as gospel, whether it's true or not. We're into it.
And I think following that, he has a great fall.
He has a great fall.
There's some horses and men that try to put him together again.
Mm-hmm.
They're not able to.
They're not able to do that. It's a tragedy, really.
All the horses.
He's a tragic hero of the life of the Greeks, really. Okay, so if y'all remember, what is the name of this game?
Half-Life!
That's right. So they're going to tell us the story of Humpty Dumpty in 1 minute.
Nice ball. And chills everywhere.
Guys, we should help him. We should help. The leg goes to the left thigh.
And the knee bone that's connected to the shoulder bone.
30 seconds.
Like this.
Alright, what else do we know?
Get some humans in here. Ribs go connected to the ear bone, and the toes go connected to the...
My training as a Kingsman hasn't prepared me for this.
Other keys, doctor. The same is dead.
He's dead! Alright, that was Humpty Dumpty in 60 seconds. Now, can they give us Humpty Dumpty in 30 seconds? What's the name of the game? Humpty Dumpty in 30 seconds, go!
I'm just gonna sit on this wall.
Shut Guys, we should help! Where did it go? I don't know. 15 seconds.
Bring the neck to the top.
I'm a man. I know this. That's what men do. No, I'm a doctor. And I know everything. Are you? He's gonna die. That's it. All right. That was 30 seconds. What's the name of the game? Humpty Dumpty in 15 seconds.
Bye.
He's dead, guys. Let's get him.
Yeah, he sure is dead.
All right, again.
Dead, Kingsman.
10 seconds.
Looks dead.
Looks
Just
dead.
just in case.
Yes, he's dead. He's
Definitely dead.
All right, that's it. What's the name of the game? Humpty Dumpty in 7 seconds. Oh, no! Oh, I'm a man. I'll fix this as a man. That's what I do.
Half-Life.
Humpty Dumpty in 3 seconds.
Whoa.
He's dead. I can see it with my own eyes. And my favorite. What's the name of the game? Half-Life. Humpty Dumpty in 1 second.
Nothing to see here.
Dead. Thank you so much. Okay, for our next feat of improvisation, we shall play a game called Steal the Line. We need all our players for this game. To get us started, can I get a location that would have a lot of people?
The Grand Canyon.
Nice. The Grand Canyon. Oh, it's so beautiful.
It is. Yo, I only ever seen pictures.
This was worth the extra money package, right?
It was, and the burro ride was nice.
I have a saddle sore.
Oh, how authentic.
Right? Oh, ouch.
Let's get closer.
Oh, ouch. I've been waiting for the whole drive.
Oh, well, you should just pee right into the Grand Canyon. That would be so epic.
But it's like a beautiful representation of nature in all its glory.
It's a beautiful representation of its glory.
Nay, it's a glorious abstraction of the struggle of human life.
It absolutely is.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm going into labor.
You? At the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, maybe the
You have to turn around to really see it.
Yes, and shut your eyes!
Now that's art.
Oh my gosh, the Grand Canyon is more beautiful than ever!
I had never imagined it could possibly be so beautiful.
I had never imagined it could possibly be so beautiful!
Oh, I could never imagine it could be so beautiful.
What's your way of putting that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it all at the frat house, but still.
I saw it all at the frat house, but still. Oh, child,
You better be prepared!
God.
We should...
You'd better be prepared. You'd better be prepared if you're gonna see beauty like
All right, one more game to get us riled up. For this game, we gotta get Nico out of here.
out of here. Oh, sorry.
All right, when Nico comes back, he's going to be a reporter that's reporting on some kind of amazing world, global event. So what is that event?
Engagement.
It's improv. It could be anything. Let's try to be ridiculous.
Indiana Jones Boulder through New York City.
G7. Indiana Jones.
Boulder through New York City.
And Indiana Jones Boulder rolled through New York City. Okay, and we will accept just Boulder too, okay? So Boulder goes through New York City.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so that gives us our place and what happens. Who caused this to happen?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas. Of course he was involved. Of course it was him. Okay, so Nico doesn't know any of this, right? He's out of the room. So when he gets close, you can snap. All right? And when he gets it, we're gonna clap. So he's guessing 3 things. The boulder in New York City caused by Nicolas Cage. And we're gonna help him figure it out as the people behind the scenes. All right, bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back.
And here we are on the scene, checking in with this major event that is happening right now.
$3, 1 bag, 1 me.
$3, 1 bag, 1 me, the sale of the century.
Well, I'm just trying to make it here in the big city. Oh, God!
I was hoping it would be snakes. Run!
God,
Dun, 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 dun.
it's not snakes, but Indiana Jones is here in the big city, investigating something. Some archaeological significance. Oh, he's going, Indiana, can you get a quote?
He shot first. Yeah, those giant rocks just keep following me wherever I go. They follow me like my grad students. Oh, see, it just keeps bumping into me.
Indiana Jones' magnetic personality keeps bringing more slugs, grad students, other difficult to recognize things.
I came out of a mountain.
A dwarf or some sort of orb.
I am purposely rounded to fall down a slope.
A giant circular rock is following Indiana Jones everywhere.
Did you know that the word for a giant circular rock is also a city in Colorado?
A boulder. A boulder that's following Indiana Jones everywhere across our fair city. And sir, what has this affected our fair city here?
Our fair city, yeah? Yeah, it's a good city. I like the city. Been living here my whole life. Started off down in the Bronx, you know, the hard streets, making my way.
Oh,
Where are you going, right?
See?
New York has never been the same. Since Indiana Jones arrived with that rolling boulder behind him. They sure are. They sure are. But the question remains, who's responsible for this debacle in the Big Apple? Ooh, that's a great title for this segment.
Oh, it is. It's really good. You know, I'm an actor, and you would think that an actor would respect New York, you know, even
poor children on the southwestern border. We hate this actor that much. But why? And whom? In New York City?
I mean, me personally, I think his best work was Face Off. You know what I mean? I love that movie. It's a classic. It's got your...
Forget it.
Come on. What movie do you think is the best then, eh?
Nicolas Cage. Set loose a rolling boulder behind Harrison Ford in New York, and New York will never be the same again.
All right, how we feeling? We got y'all warmed up? We're ready for the main feature, the first of 3 true stories from our Lafayette Famous guest, Shawn Broaddus!
Alright, so I guess this will be the first story. The lights are brighter than I expected. There's nothing else here. I guess these stories are going to move in chronological order in my life. So we're going to start off with like 17-year-old Shawn and work our way up to sometime before the restaurant actually opened, because since the restaurant opened, my life's been straight business, and I don't know if those stories are that interesting. So this story actually starts with not me, but my friend and his, well, I guess his wife at the moment, girlfriend at the time. As any 2 kids would think, sitting in the drive-thru line at Burger King, looking at the menu, staring to the left, they thought, we're going to steal that SpongeBob on top of the building. So later that evening, I arrived at my friend's house, and to greet me, he had said SpongeBob from on top of Burger King, and was extremely proud at this moment. So our first idea was like, dude, so you let the air out through the hole, how do we blow this thing up? From that point, we ended up with a leaf blower, generator, and SpongeBob in the back of a S10 that was definitely taller than this roof. And our first thought was like, let's parade down the road with SpongeBob because people want to see this. So luckily, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were driving down the road. We realized it's way too tall because we're like this close to power lines, and we're like really worried. Luckily, we're in the back streets of Carrico. We get back home, we deflate it. We say, dude, we're bringing this thing to school next week because it's homecoming. And that's what kids do. The internet was, I'm going to say, sort of new at this time. It's 2006-ish. 2006, that's when I graduated. So yeah, it's 2006. Come to find out, if you steal a SpongeBob from a Burger King, it's grand theft. They're worth like thousands of dollars. You do not want to be caught with this thing. That's the last thing you want. And we decided, well, now we kind of need to get rid of it because keeping this around makes no sense. So we went through the trouble of stealing it from the Burger King. This is before Burger Kings were 24 hours, so they didn't like Mission Impossible it, but they got it off the roof. We decided we need to get rid of it, so of course it's homecoming week, and our thought was, let's put it on top of school. So the idea to put it on top of school was born, and the idea of everyone else showing up to school and seeing SpongeBob there with a big 06 on his chest was like the only goal in our lives at that point. It was all that mattered. We devised a plan to do it a random day throughout the week. We were all going to meet up at his house, put it in the back of the truck, go there, and set it up. Turns out we had more friends gung-ho about this scenario than we needed. So as we had vehicles lined up, ready to go, we saw a boat by the end of the driveway, and we were like, we're bringing this with us. So we grabbed this like 15-foot flat-bottom boat, about an extra 100-something feet of rope. We have a generator, a leaf blower, my Jeep Cherokee, and an S10, and about 5 guys. And we are ready to go install SpongeBob. And from this point, we drive to school, we get there, we park the Jeep next to the awning, we're standing on top of the Jeep, lifting generators, blowing up SpongeBob. There's a guy on the gutter pipe, scaling the gutter pipe for some reason, because it was quicker in his mind than just climbing on top of the Jeep. So like the whole scenario is set, we have a boat that we still don't know what we're doing with. We finally see a tree and we're like, boat, tree, put boat in tree, go, execute. So at this point, we're like, dude with the leaf blower on the roof, blowing up SpongeBob, spray painting 06 on it, plus whatever else was written on SpongeBob, because you can't just write one thing as a kid. And we're putting a boat in a tree, and me as an Eagle Scout, I'm like, I know the knots This thing's not gonna fall, no problem. So we get all this done, we're leaving, we pull out of the school driveway as the milk truck pulls in to start deliveries for school.
Wow.
So like there was one person who saw us and we were so worried about this. We were like terrified to get to school because we were gonna drive our vehicles there that day. And this completely changed our minds. So we got back home and we were like, we can't bring our truck and our Jeep to school. So we found a flatbed trailer and we decorated it, and we decided that if you pulled a flatbed trailer into school with 15 seniors on it throwing water balloons at juniors, that no one would think you're the one who put SpongeBob on it. So this proceeded to happen. The principal comes out, tells us don't throw water balloons at juniors. That's a convertible. Why are you doing that? That makes no sense. We go throughout the day, we hear nothing of the situation except from other students, and they're like, dude, why can't we stand under our tree? Because there's a boat in it, and the janitors think it's a hazard, because apparently I don't know how to tie knots, which isn't true. The boat's gonna follow people. So we keep going through our day, we get to that point in the day, it's a senior half day, we're talking about rings, we go to the bleachers, and we're all in the 06 formation to take our picture, and from our point of view, we're looking out at the track, and you can see the janitors with SpongeBob and the boat in the back of the truck driving along the track disposing of the evidence. So there's like 8 of us to 15 of us that knew that were there or just knew about the project. They were laughing about the situation. We get off of there, we're going to talk about our rings. One person is called to the office. He wasn't even someone who was there. He happened to get too drunk that night and pass out, as high school kids do, and could not make it. So he actually didn't even know details of the situation for who was there, and he was blank, and everyone thought it was him, and everyone else kind of got to skate away free. And as to this moment, still no one knows names. So that is the story of how the most innocent prank that ever happened to Karen Ohio.
Legendary. Thank you. Let you guys know what's going to happen now. As the Silverbacks are going to do an improvised riff, we're not going to retell the story. We're going to take elements and do a little improv. So enjoy.
I got the leaf blower.
Got the leaf blower.
Yeah, ready.
Boat's in the tree.
Right.
It's lashed out pretty good.
I tied some knots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like good knots.
Thank you.
Well trained, and you're not tight, I think.
Practicing. Don't need to know how.
What's the leaf blower for?
Oh, it's a leaf blower.
Oh yeah.
Of course I got a leaf blower. All right, we got these leaf blowers. That inflatable SpongeBob has nothing on us. That's right. His reign of terror is going to end today. Yes. He's been attacking the city.
Yeah, that's right.
Perched on top of a Burger King.
Yeah.
Smiling at us with that sick grin.
Yeah.
Not in our town, Bob.
Yeah.
Not in our town.
A small town rocked by a hideous theft. I'm Sarah Koenig. This is Serial.
You see, what happened was we had this SpongeBob on top of our unnamed chain restaurant. And one day, it was just gone. Doctor, it's like I just can't get past them all blaming me for that hazing. It happened so long ago. It was 2006, but it's like none of them wanted to, they just all wanted to blame it on me, like I was the bad kid, you know?
Christopher, you have to take some responsibility for where you are now. I'm sorry, I don't usually get so emotional with patients, but you just come back into this over and over and over again, stuck on this one incident.
All right, Doc. You're right. You're right.
But something you actually value, Christopher.
What's something I value?
Value.
I value being a Karen Crow bear. Yeah! Put your phone on silent, dude. God, they're gonna find us. Rebecca, there's something I need to tell you. Dude, is now the time? Yes. I believe you. people find us under the teacher's desk.
I mean, she never sits down. Ever. She never sits. She's still looking for us in the classroom.
Rebecca.
She called roll 10 minutes ago, and she is still looking for us. She knows we're here somewhere.
It's funny, Rebecca.
It's really funny.
It's really funny, but we gotta get back to basics. What are we gonna do with the body, Rebecca?
Oh, God.
My God, you hate to see it. Look at this.
Think of this giant rubber balloon that smells so bad.
Well, that's the decay. After the second stage, they start to really blow, and then they deflate. Your first time, Ricky?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen lots of balloon thefts in my time. Garfield, Spider-Man, Pikachu.
You were in the Spider-Man scene?
I was at the Spider-Man scene, and that had nothing on this. This sickens me. You can see it.
What I really want to know, it's a balloon, right? How can it possibly live under the sea?
We don't ask questions like that here. Sometimes there's fire. Sometimes they cook on a hot griddle with grease. We don't ask questions about how it works, okay?
Oh gosh.
What's important is we figure out who did this. Kind of sick.
Yeah, so since that day, SpongeBob has been living here in the backyard.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
was wondering why he was just waiting.
You know, being a custodian comes with perks.
Because you can technically steal it.
I just took it, and I took the phone too. I mean, nobody was coming and claiming it.
Throwing that away would have just been an environmental hazard.
And now I'm the most popular custodian in the neighborhood.
Well, I brought all the children to play.
Oh, good. It's getting close to Halloween. I have a bucket of candy in front of 06 SpongeBob. Yeah, go ahead, y'all. Get y'all some Laffy Taffy. Oh, be careful. He's put it on now.
Different milk, different milk, just an ordinary cake. SpongeBob knew that someone was coming for him this very night. And as he sat there, waiting, next to his friend, the tiny little snail thing, on top of the Burger King, the tension built. What was that sound? Hey guys, Burger King's closed now. let's steal that SpongeBob.
As your tiny little snail friend, I think there's danger.
Are you tired of people forgetting Gary's name? Everybody's saying it's just a snail friend.
It's Gary!
It's Gary. It's Gary. He's a secondary character. Yeah, all he says is meow. But you know what? You know what? That's creative.
He's a main character to me!
Yeah.
Always been!
And as the animators for SpongeBob SquarePants,
Yeah.
we're on strike
Yeah.
against Earth. That's right.
Until you give Gary his own show,
Gary.
we're done!
Deserves
Man, I'm sick of watching SpongeBob reruns. Mom, tell him to settle with the strikers.
Hey, y'all settle with the strikers. Yes, my child is irritating as hell.
Well, ma'am, it's not our problem. Your child's a fucking scab.
Settle with the strikers. Do you understand?
Still old. I remember all these lines.
Do you understand how much reality TV there is now? This is your fault. I blame you.
It's lonely up here without SpongeBob.
this is I guess, to set with the idea of what's going on, I grew up camping a lot, and whenever I graduated high school and got more into the real world and met friends that were just like, I was friends with them because like, we actually got along and like did things together. We didn't just go to the same school, so like the pool was bigger. We used to go camping for a month every summer, and this is sort of a compilation of what our first trip of going to Glacier National Park was like. On the right there, of course, where, I mean, I must be 21 or 22 at the time. The next person above me would be a year older, and our other buddy is not 21, which leads to our first situation of showing up to Glacier National Park. And of course, as any 21-year-old would do, our first mission is to buy beer. So we get there, immediately go look for some local beer, conveniently called stuff like Moose Drool, which we were like extremely excited to drink because that name is catchy. So we're sitting in our campsite drinking our Moose Drool, and from this point, there are other mischievous acts happening in the tent, which we found a little bit of weed to bring with us on this trip, and our youngest friend is in there because he is the most experienced in this category, and he is rolling blunts because we said, hey, look, we're here, let's not do this any longer, we're gonna do this once and get it out the way. We're sitting in the campsite drinking beer, and the biggest mistake of the entire trip and the most expensive was made was Drew walked out that tent. And by Drew deciding that he did not want to roll 5 or 6 blunts instead of 2, he got a minor in possession charge because the Moose Drool was so exciting. He walked out and was drinking it, and the first ranger to walk up on us was like, IDs, please. And this was our beginning entrance to Glacier. From this point forward, if you know Glacier National Park, it's like 4 parks in one. It's all over the place. There's different campsites. We decided to get the hell out of this area because it wasn't good to us and we didn't enjoy being there. We kept being worried about said park ranger coming back and messing with us. So we moved to the next area, and we're about 2 weeks into the trip, and this is all day hikes, but it's still just us, 3 guys. We're in like a not even a full-size truck. We're like basically an S10 again. It's an Isuzu. I don't know what the model ever was. But we're driving around in this thing, and we get to our next campsite, and from this point forward, we're like been in the woods for 2 weeks. We're starting to go crazy. We haven't washed clothes. Any female that we see is officially attractive to us. and the girl in the campsite next to us, which was by herself, which this still don't understand that, but like we were in this campsite for a week and she was there the whole time. And this girl developed the name Vest Girl because she had a vest. And this was her like most outstanding characteristic, and a jacket without sleeves doesn't make much sense to me. So Vest Girl was born, and we all thought that our other buddy was like totally gonna get with her one day, even though that like wasn't the mission and we didn't think about that, but like he had a vest. So like she had a vest and he had a vest. We were like match made in heaven, bro. But throughout all of this time, we never really considered what we looked like from the outside. So we mentioned the whole rolling blunts thing, and between this situation, in bear country, it's best to keep things that smell outside of where you sleep, because bears will eat you in the middle of the night if they smell something that is like food. So all of our clothes and extra stuff besides our sleeping bags were in this tiny tent, which was like yay big, really only big enough to like put your clothes in. And we decided that this is where we were gonna smoke. So like probably from the outside it looked like there was just smoke billowing from this little tent with a fire built in it, and there's like a 6'4" guy like trying to get inside of it throughout this whole time. And while this is happening one day, we obviously don't know what's going on around us. We're cooking dinner, we're making a rice and gravy because we're Cajun, so we're cooking for like 3 hours, which is like this outrageous smell. And throughout this time period, we developed a bright idea to catch a chipmunk. And that just, I mean, they're coming around, you're like, oh my gosh, these don't live around us, let's pick it up. So we were like, how are we gonna pick this thing up? We were like, quart-size Ziploc bag, that'll work. So quart-size Ziploc bag with like peanuts in it. Said chipmunk is like, yeah. Comes inside, grabs peanuts, it's too small. You obviously can't pick it up. It didn't work. So we upgraded to the foldable tents, foldable chairs, the bag that they come in, the long oblong bag. Let's put one in there. And we scooped scooped up a chipmunk. And we didn't know what to do with it from that point. So we gave it a few more crackers, and the dude's just chilling in there. He's hanging out, he's having fun. And as any guys who are doing that are smoking, we're like, well, it's gonna smoke with us. So we all pile into this little tent in the midst of making a rice and gravy. So there's like pork tips and gravy on like the camp stove, which like must smell delicious to everyone else around us, not to mention like the beef billowing from the tent, which we obviously didn't think of anybody even looking at us. Like looking back on the scenario, I have no idea why people wouldn't have walked up in this campsite and be like, what are you doing? So we're like messing with this chipmunk, we bring it in the tent, and the chipmunk's hanging out with us, we're hanging out with it. We're like, yo, get out the bag. So Mr. Chipmunk is officially running around this little tent with 3 grown-ass guys inside of a tiny tent who have no realization of what's going on around us, probably like laughing like crazy people. And this goes on for several different times where we pick the chipmunk back up, put it in the bag, go out, come back in, check the food, go out, come back in. Best girl shows up. We all do this and go, Josh, calm down. This is your chance. So that's like a whole scenario happening in the middle. And throughout this, eventually Chipmunk spends one more round with us. We let him go. He never comes back. We then proceed to just probably eat rice and gravy for like an hour. Who knows? Because at that time of the year, it's dark. I mean, it's light till like 11 o'clock. So like our time pattern was off. We were just having fun. After all of that calms down and people stop looking at us, it's now time to do the dishes. So we're kind of in our own little world. My tallest friend has officially retreated to the tent with a headache because he no longer wanted to clean the dishes, I think. So we start washing dishes. If you understand how like big national parks work, you have to go somewhere else to dump your dirty water because it's a protected area. And like, I mean, I said Grand Canyon earlier. Fun fact about Grand Canyon, you have to put your poo in a bag and bring it out with you. So like national parks are crazy about certain things. So there's a place to go dump your water. Me and the short friend leave to go dump water and come back to the campsite. We've been cooking this rice and gravy for like 2 hours. And apparently it attracted a bear. So throughout this, we're walking back with our current mindset of like, we just called it Chipmunk and it hung out with us. We didn't hang out with it. So like we're in a different world at this point, and we're walking back and we're like, oh shit, that's a bear. Josh, damn, I said his name. I wasn't supposed to do that. Tall friend. There's a bear outside the tent. It's like, what? What do you mean? We're like, you know that rock that we step outside the tent to pee on every morning? He was like, yeah, the one that's like 3 steps away. We're like, yeah, it's right there. He's like, what do you want me to do? And we're like, I don't know, what do you want us to do? And a lot of confusion happened. Luckily, this wasn't like the world's biggest bear, but I mean like any bear, honestly, is like super scary. And this bear is 10 feet from our friend, so we left. That was our realization. We said, yo, hang out, don't make any moves. And he did. He just apparently like fell asleep. He was like, screw it, I'm over this. And we went to go tell a ranger. We found the ranger. We come back to the campsite, and the ranger's like, where's the bear? And like, I don't know what we smelled like, but we assumed that he knew that we were just like smoking pot the whole time. So he's like, these kids are making this shit up. And we're like, are we really making this up? Like, there was definitely a bear there. And like, yeah, so that's what we looked like to the rest of the world without considering that the rest of the world knew anything. Later that night, we did hear a giant rifle shot. So we kind of assumed that bear stumbled into a different campsite, and maybe he wasn't a Cajun bear that was attracted to rice and gravy, and he was more just looking for like anything that smelled like trash. So yeah, that's us camping. Me and my friends.
Yay! All right, Bear Scouts, gather around. Now, first lesson. What to do if a bear comes after your rice and gravy. Now, I majored in bear entertainment. We're gonna start with the bear trap. You put the rice and gravy, just a little bit though, on the bear trap. That's first. You want to find the big stash behind
Everybody get out and go juggling fish. Y'all right, go juggling fish. We're gonna be juggling fish over the rice and gravy.
I don't know why these hipsters keep stealing my drool.
I'm parched. Just dry as a bone
Oh,
here.
no.
Excuse me,
What?
Oh, there's one right here.
Yes, yes.
I just have no sense of personal space.
Don't worry, they'll get tired of it in another 6 months.
I think this chipmunk's into me.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, whoa. Dude, you are so lucky that chipmunk is totally into you.
I like its little vest.
Now's your chance, Josh. You got a vest? The little chipmunk's got a vest?
Hey, chipmunk. Hey, chipmunk. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you are getting me now.
I mean, I think this is like a little soon, chipmunk. I mean, I barely just met you.
Dude, go with it. It's love at first sight. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch your soul.
I think I'm all forest.
In this new comic book series, we meet Vest Girl. She can conquer anything outdoorsy. She loves the outdoors and loves wearing her vest.
Best girl! Oh, thank God, best girl! I didn't even see that skunk thing hopping up behind me.
Not a problem. Just prepare me.
Oh no! Chipmunks!
Better watch out. I'm not afraid to hurt anything.
Conquer the biggest nemesis of all campers, bears. What will Vest Girl do? She's surrounded by bears.
Smells like garbage.
Must be smelling yourself, bear. What kind? Whoa! No! Whoa!
Yeah, Vest Girl, but are you prepared to face me? Dr. Chinos!
The woods are a little boring. I think I'll just go on Tinder.
ID, please, ma'am. ID, please.
Oh. Okay.
Which pocket is her ID in? This is the biggest challenge of the day.
I have so many pockets.
Well, ma'am,
Dude, so like these campers caught me, and like I've never felt so relaxed.
What? Relaxed? What are you talking about?
Like,
You feel relaxed?
I feel really weird, like calm right now, and hungrier than usual.
Look at me. Okay. That is very calm looking.
Dude, I need to go back to those campers.
I'm coming with you.
Yeah! Let's have a party!
so there was a bear in your campsite.
It was right here. There was a bear.
Oh, yeah, so there was a bear in your campsite counterfeiting all of those $100 bills.
Yeah, he's right. He said his whole meth lab. Right, it's right by the rock where we pee. So obviously he was.
So the bear was involved in I've already got you confessing to public urination. So that's enough to bring you in right there.
Hey.
Wait a minute.
IDs, please.
Hold on, we have to take our pee out and our poo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so do the bears? Do the bears have to do that?
No, they live here. But sometimes they do it anyway because they care about our public works.
cool, crisp mountain air. And gravy?
May God they don't. They got that beat them pork tips ready and
No, yeah, I just need a little more Tonys.
Oh man, we got to cook that down for at least another hour. That's only been on that stove for 2 hours.
We're gonna let it sit.
Hi. This is,
Oh, that's a nice nest you got there.
really strong. It's very strong aroma coming from your cook site here.
May yeah?
And, you know, there's like bears and stuff. And,
Oh, those go good with rice?
Oh yeah, I don't
Well,
care
you gotta-
about that. What we gonna do?
you gotta brine them for a long time.
What'd you expect, me to eat some granola?
It's kind of tough.
For 2 weeks? I mean, we gotta have a gravy.
No.
Come on.
I mean, to be completely honest, I am a little hungry. If,
Oh, you invite yourself to dinner now?
oh, no. Of course
I
not.
guess he is a Cajun. That's right, I'm inviting myself to dinner.
Well, it's certainly fine to meet a fellow vest wearer who likes to invite herself to dinner.
Hey, are we inviting ourselves to dinner here? Because this smells amazing.
This is the inviting your dinner place.
Oh, good. Who's, who actually, like, cooks dinner in the first place?
We're waiting for it.
Oh, yeah.
Dinner's going to be here any minute now.
Someone's gonna come around and start cooking dinner.
This is where I go to dinner!
Yes, but you have to sit right there because all the other seats are taken. We are waiting for our dinner.
Also, I mean, politeness would be to wash your clothes.
Hand sanitizer, okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's a bear right outside of the tent, man?
Dude, it's just right there. You know that rock we pee on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right there.
Okay. Well, I guess there's nothing I
I've loved our friendship so much. I guess it's goodbye.
Yeah, man. I really appreciated our friendship too. I'm really happy I got to make out with Samantha that one time.
Dude, there are two bears. They are literally juggling fish over your tent right now.
I understand. I'm a goner.
Really, keep away from the third bear. Don't look, man. Don't look.
I'm not gonna.
Dude, if you look. Oh, man. I don't know.
Yeah, so they were hotboxing in the tent, in the campsite. No respect for the rules or the laws at all.
I am so sorry. You know, they did this last time, and I thought, I'll just move them to a different part of camp, and they'll be good, respectable Boy Scouts.
Right? You know, being a park ranger is supposed to be a stress-free job.
Oh, honey, someone lied to you.
There's like bears and stoners and wildfires.
Well, the good news is, at Glacier State Park, we don't have any glaciers.
Not anymore.
You don't want me to tell.
Final story from Shawn Broaddus.
Alright, keeping with the theme of I am from Louisiana, if you like to fish for like just redfish or specks, like there's generally one place that you go here, at least in my family, and that's Grand Isle. And this is a story about how I got kicked off of that island. There was me and my tall friend decided one day, because we were living together, he was my roommate at the time, we were like, dude, it's spring break. We requested off, and we were supposed to go to Arkansas to go camping, and the weather was just complete trash. And we knew that the trails we wanted to do, the rivers were too high, we couldn't go. So we decided, let's go to Grand Isle. And let's not bring anything but a couple fishing poles, because we can survive. Like, worst case scenario, we catch some catfish and we'll live. So we're driving down there, and our plan is initially to stay at the state park, and we're like, yeah, we'll just get a campsite. This is like a normal situation for us. We left, we had all of our camping gear, we get there, campsite is ravaged because there was a hurricane like a month ago. And we definitely didn't think about that because that wasn't on our radar. So we get there, and there's no place to camp, there's no place to pitch a tent. So we were driving down the road and saw the library, which was closed because of said hurricane. We decided, let's put our truck behind that, and we'll hide, and no one will know we're here, and we'll get away with 2 days, and it won't be a big deal. If you're familiar with spending time on Grand Isle, there's only like 2 cops on the island at a time. They literally just drive up and down the one road and like just look for stuff that's out of place because they're there all day. So we get there, we park on the beach, we set up a tent, and we leave. And from the road, you can't see anything different. So we are off to find dinner. And that is our goal. We're looking for places to go catch like the good fish. Like we're fishing for specks and reds, and this turns out to be a complete waste of time. The weather is just as bad as it would have been if we went up north. So the winds are blowing, it's cold, it's not really a fun time. We decided to go to the grocery store because we couldn't find any food, so we bought a couple handles of Captain Morgan and some vanilla Coke. And we were like, this will help us catch food. And our goal was then to go catch crabs, and this proceeded to us being off the side of the road catching like a dozen crabs, where we went back to our campsite to cook the crabs. And we're drinking this handle of Captain Morgan because a single bottle just wasn't big enough for us at the time, apparently. On the way, we have to stop and put air in the tire, because I forgot to mention this, when we left Lafayette, we had a nail in our tire. And dude, we didn't take it out and patch it. We just stopped every 45 minutes and put air in the tire. So that's like where our mindset is. And we get back to our campsite, and because we decided we were going to rough it, we literally only brought our backpacking gear. So our biggest pot can hold 2 crabs at a time. So we're cooking a dozen crabs on like a backpacking stove, 2 crabs at a time. And we're ecstatic because we're starving. We haven't eaten in like a day and a half. The only thing that we caught was something called a rockfish, which is like this big and has a big mouth, and you don't eat them because they're slimy, and it bit me on the finger. And like, luckily at this point in time, I like was smart enough because iPhones were like just coming out, and my 3GS had this like amazing Wi-Fi that took like 8 minutes to download something. So when I finally found out what the fish was, we were like, we can't eat that, let's leave. And so we stopped fishing there, went back to the campsite, cooking our crabs on the beach. We meet a couple people who are just there for the weekend, I guess. They're younger than us. They could not buy any alcohol. And they were like, dude, we're going to go back to our hotel room for a little while, and then we're going to come chill with you on the beach. Let's make a giant fire. I was like, all right. So we're like still drinking, boiling 2 crabs at a time. Like, it takes forever to eat 1 crab, so this is like a long scenario. And so we're looking for firewood the whole time. We start to build a fire, and from us, with the experience we have, we cannot see the number of just like tally marks we're racking up, which are like drawing that one of 2 cops' attention to us. At this point, where it's dark, so we have lights on. We are careless. The truck is parked further up on the levee. We are building a giant bonfire at this point. The Captain Morgan's is in a glass container. I think one of us didn't have a fishing license, if I'm not mistaken. And throughout all this time, the fire is just getting bigger and bigger, and we are getting louder and louder, and there's now like the truck's radio is on, and the headlights are on, and it's pulled even further up the levee, and we're done cooking the crabs, so we have to wash dishes. So of course, because what we do is live in the woods, we just walk down to the edge of the beach, and we're like, we're gonna scrub it out with sand, and we're gonna rinse it, and we'll run it through the dishwasher when we get home. And while we're doing this, we're over there for who knows how long. We turn around, and there's a dude in our campsite with a flashlight. We didn't know it was a dude. We thought it was an alien at first with a light. We had no idea. But as we get closer, it turns out to be that cop that is there. And he starts naming all the stuff we're doing wrong. And eventually it hits a point where he's like, get off the island. And his like scenario for us was like, dude, I'm not gonna write you a ticket. I'm not gonna like do all this stuff because like honestly y'all aren't like bad people, y'all are just doing something really stupid right now. And from this point, he's like, get off the island, go home. I'm going to be back here in an hour. I want y'all gone. We are way too drunk to really be leaving. Like, this made no sense to us at this point. So, but we're like, whatever, we have to. We knew that our time was ticking on refilling the air in the tire, so we had to go do that before we could finish breaking down the tent. We had to put out the fire because we had no solution for the bonfire we had built to attract these people we didn't know that weren't old enough to buy alcohol, but We were gonna party with them all night on the beach. We're breaking our tent down. Dude, the people show up. We're like, yo, it's a party. They're like, no, it's not a party. We got kicked out of our hotel for smoking weed. We're like, we got kicked off the beach for being us. So like at this point, there's two groups of people with no place to go that are both like in a different state of mind that should not be traveling. So we left Grand Island and went to Homo. This was where somebody who lived there, or somebody who was in the other group, had a house whose like parents weren't home, and we're like, we're going there. And we proceeded to party the night away, which ended up in like passing out and stuff, and me like waking up on the floor covered by a beach towel because it was the biggest blanket I could find. I go and I find my buddy and I'm like, yo, let's get out of here. So we leave there and we go to a gas station to fill up the tire with air, and we had to get gas, and from that point needed Powerades for sure. And I'm the one who goes in the gas station, and I get back, and like all I see is my friend like laughing hysterically. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong? He's like, you forgot you left Strel dicks on your face last night. And I was like, really let me go in there like that? And he's like, yeah, we don't live here. So like I'm walking out the gas station in this like shameful situation because all I did was like I'm hungover with dicks on my face and I'm buying Powerades, and I'm like, look, we have a flat tire, can I please get some change for this $1 bill for quarters? And this lady, I couldn't figure out why she was looking at me, why the way she was looking at me, but now I know. When you party with people from Homo, look in the mirror before you leave. That's definitely a rule of advice. So this is, I think from this point forward, me and my buddy both grew up a lot from this point and decided that our naive ways, we should make better plans. And we now decide to buy food instead of alcohol whenever we realize we have no food. That, I guess, is the most mature thing we learned from this scenario. And from that point, we proceeded to drive home and did not stop again until we got to Lafayette, even though the tire was very, very flat. And I just refused to walk in a gas station again because there was like we're boys, we have no pipes in the car. There was no way to clean my face other than spit. So that just didn't want to do it. And that's how I get kicked off of Grand Island.
Bartholomew,
Yes, Martha?
I think this water is rather hot.
It's a little warm. A little warm.
It's a little warm. It's winter, so it's weird that this water is hot.
It's gonna take a little while.
I don't want to alarm you, but I think they want to eat us.
It's not boiling yet.
Eat us. Why would they want to eat us? Look at us. We're
We got 10 more after this.
I know. I mean, they'll have to work so hard to get so little meat.
It's impractical. Is what it is.
I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna drink more liquor.
I do think it is getting warmer.
It is getting warmer, and continually warmer.
We're almost at a boil.
Brisk.
I'm coming, please. Hello. Tracy, you have a bottle of Captain Morgan's there.
Sure do.
Girl, that's an alien.
That's 2 aliens.
Did you say there was the Captain Morgan's?
Oh, give him a pull. Give him a pull.
What are you gonna drink?
I mean,
We have come from far away.
look how thirsty they are. Feed them.
We don't have IDs, so
That's cool. Neither do we.
We're always searching for the best party. Okay.
Oh, cool. Well, I got this illegal bonfire going. Is that cool?
Yes, it is what attracted us to your planet.
Oh, that's big, yeah.
do you have the vanilla Coke?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have one of those days where you just wake up hungover with dicks on your face?
Yeah. Oh, you mean drawn.
Change, definitely no problem. How much change do you need? How much change do you need? Come on.
I just need, Stop it!
No, it's cool. I'm just like, the world is so funny and beautiful, right?
Look, I'm 21 years old, okay?
No, it's cool.
I swear.
I believe you. I'm not even asking for your ID. How much change do you need?
I just need $5.
I got this. You just read my name.
Why did I make your day?
Oh, it's just, honestly, the cure of shading is like really well done. Like, it's realistic.
What are you talking about, man? Wait, let me see your glasses. Why do you wear them on your chin? That's so, oh my God.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What do I do?
I mean, you take that to New York. You put that in a gallery. That's gorgeous.
I didn't need to brag, but I'm actually an art dealer. And I would love to buy your face.
If he tries to come near me with that hook, I'm gonna bite his finger clean off.
Yeah. Oh, you'll do it too. You know what you should do? You should take a knuckle.
There it comes. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna get a piercing. I always wanted a piercing anyway.
You're gonna look so good with a piercing. Oh yeah, that's a good spot for one.
All right, yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's like a bread.
Dude, we're finally going to be able to eat. We're not going to starve to death.
Give me that sweet finger.
We're not going to starve to death.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, but I'm sure we can eat it.
Bring it back.
Oh God, no.
Here you go, fish. All right, now everybody line up. That's right. Get drunk. Me and my buddy are hungry. Captain Morgan. Yo ho.
Micah, something's going on.
Don't fall for it, Bartholomew. I have a bad feeling about these boys.
I feel giggly.
Why, you haven't seen you laugh like that since our wedding night. Maybe we'll try some of this fuzzy tonic.
Fuzzy tonic, you say?
Oh, she can speak our language.
Yeah, I sure can. Every free fisherman can speak fish.
Alright. You always want to tell me what you're doing here?
Well,
we
started with a flat tire.
And we just drove down here on the tire, parked our car illegally behind the library, and we rolled up on the bluff.
Yeah.
And then we met these other guys who were smoking weed in their hotel room.
Yeah, we're totally not doing that.
But he doesn't have a fishing license, so we went fishing for a little while. And we have all these glass cans from Captain Morgan's. You want some Captain Morgan's? I don't think he's 21 either. I'm not 21 for that matter.
I would love for you to keep going, but I just wanted to let you know your taillight's out.
Welcome to Camping with Sarah, my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk to you about how to clean out your crab-caked plates with some sand and water from the ocean. We do everything natural here.
That's right, Sarah. We get only the best, most natural right off the beach sand. As you can see here, it's very coarse and abrasive to get all of those cooked on bits.
That's right, we're going to do the best we can. And then when we get home, we're going to run it through the dishwasher.
I am a fire left to burn out on my own.
I am an old leftover bottle, never to be dranken.
Look, it's been about 2 weeks in fire. You are like the best. Feel the best.
Thank you. I feel hot in it. That's a fire joke.
An old bottle feels alone and empty hearing all this banter.
I'm sorry, I just saw the lots.
Oh, I feel like I'm fizzling out.
Hey, old Bob. It's been about 2 weeks, but pretty hot.
Though this bottle stays in the sun, hope yet reigns, hope yet reigns. Oh.
Oh wait, you gotta dip it.
Hey! I'm a discarded blunt on the beach.
I don't get it. I mean, being a policeman on Grand Isle is supposed to be a stress-free job.
Oh, honey, someone lies to you.
The occasional hurricane, sure, but drunk kids not even on the campground, they're by the freaking library. Who does that?
Drunk kids on the beach. That is literally what they do for millennia.
The poor crimes. It took so long to cook them in that little campsite. They must have been suffering.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was messy. And you cook them for that slow, that long, they aren't like a pork roast, you know? They're not gonna get soft.
It's all smushy.
They ruined those crabs.
Oh, I feel for them so much.
But this is as comforting as I get. I really don't have any emotions past this. There.
Yeah.
We probably refilled the fire.
Yeah, that's right.
Just another day on the beach. Birds are gone because there was a hurricane. It's too windy for fish. Water's too choppy. Ooh. Unseasonably cold. It seems. What's that? Who's that?
It's me, Captain Morgan. I'm here to say this.
Thank y'all so much for enjoying this evening with us. Let's go downtown park and come and see these great stories by Shawn Broaddus. This is from Lafayette Famous. We are the Silverbacks. Please check us out. We always have something going on, cooking up something in our brains. Not unlike Shawn is always cooking burgers.
Right.
But yeah. All right, thank y'all so much.